Hello everyone. One of my favourite Christmas preparations is preparing the crib, whether that's the crib at the rectory on the piano or indeed here at Holy Trinity Much Wenlock in the Lady Chapel, where before you is this most beautiful of crib scenes. I love the simplicity of it all, and I'm sure that we have a sentimental attachment with the crib that probably stems from the part that we played in our nativity at school. It will come as no surprise to you that I was the innkeeper and I knocked the head off the donkey. There we go. The key characters at the crib, namely Mary, Joseph and Jesus, knew what it was like to make sacrifices for the sake of others. And of course, Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice when that manger became a cross, the ultimate demonstration of God's love for the world. There is always a danger that we can over-sentimentalise the crib scene, forgetting that Jesus came into a world that was in equal turmoil to the one that we are experiencing now. Jesus, we can sometimes forget, fled with Mary and Joseph into Egypt. He was a refugee. They fled for their lives because of the tyrant King Herod. With government Christmas arrangements up for review and whether or not 3 households will be permitted to meet with one another over the Christmas season is a reminder to us that, of course, the year began in March with the corona pandemic, and we have all had to make sacrifices for the sake of the common good at every level. And is it really that much of an inconvenience or disappointment to accept that the nation's public health is more important than whether we get our turkey with family and friends on Christmas Day? I appreciate there is a real spiritual and emotional need for human contact, but at what cost, we might ask? Certainly there is much for our families and friends to consider between now and Christmas Day, and so we pray for a right judgment in all things, and that we will duly consider the consequences of our actions for both good and ill. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your unstinting support over these past 9 months and acknowledge the phenomenal community spirit throughout the town of Much Wenlock and indeed the Wenlock group of parishes that has certainly manifested itself in both ways, both large and small, throughout the pandemic, in the way that we've cared for one another and, where necessary, made sacrifices for that common good. And as we enter another period of uncertainty as to how the pandemic will manifest itself in the coming days, I'm certainly holding steadfast to a Christmas card I received this week that reads, "In the darkest of winter nights, Christ's love shines the brightest." Christ calls us to share that light of love with others in the way we live out the Christmas story in our everyday lives, demonstrating due care and consideration to others, as well as acknowledging the precious gift of relationships that we share one with another and ultimately with God in the person of Jesus, who is Emmanuel, God with us. So may I take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Christmas and every blessing for 2021.